Nice of Guinevere will be wild. Hi, it's Yakuza. Today is a great day for indie animation because we got our first trailer at the new glitch show created with Terrace, the creator of the phenomenal Disney show, The Owl House. The new show is called Knights of Guinevere. Knights of Guinevere is a show that was announced a while back. It even had a little teaser for it, but we didn't get to know much from it. But from this new trailer, we got a bunch of more context of what's going on in this show. In this video, I'll be breaking down what's going on in the trailer, what all this could mean, because with this new trailer, we have a pretty good idea on where everything is going. First, we open up the trailer with an old film grainy edits that appears to be similar to Walt Disney's old animation openings. This is clearly hinting to the whole amusement park Disney theme this show is trying to parody off of. Like, imagine a beginning of an old cartoon show you would see. It literally looks something straight off of it. The more we watch the trailer, the more apparent it's parodying Disney. Soon we get some shots of what appears to be an amusement theme park showcasing the animatronic, who I'm assuming they're named to be Guinevere. We hear a narrator from what it sounds like a little girl telling us a fairy tale story about a princess being trapped in a tower. We see fireworks in the sky in the theme park as well. This is also hinting to Disney with them always having a fireworks show appear every single night in Disney World. Or Disneyland. I don't know, I barely went there because I'm black and I'm broke. Anyways, the theme park name is apparently called Park Planet. The next few scenes, we see an image of a young girl walking around the theme park. I'm imagining this is the same girl narrating the story, where she explains the princess in her story is locked away in a tower by complicated machines that is fueled on blood and fear. The princess in the story is obviously hinting to the girl that we see walking around the theme park, and is most likely the same one narrating the story. Actually, what I think is the person explaining the story is, yes, the blonde girl we see, but also Guinevere. I think that they are the same person. That blonde girl is actually trapped inside Guinevere. Either that or some type of cloning process that's going on some real Five Nights at Freddy's ordeal. We see this one scene where this bedroom is bombarded with machines and robots. Almost like they're there to monitor whoever's in the princess's bedroom. This is probably the blonde girl's bedroom, so they could work on her or do whatever experiments to transform her into Guinevere. The next scene, we see the blonde girl and the animatronic body of Guinevere, both on what it seems to be the same bed. They seem really close and connected, and Guinevere in this situation doesn't seem to be alive or working, like it's more of an empty shell, waiting to be filled. We end the scene with Guinevere wondering if she'll ever find her knights, meaning she's waiting for someone to save her. This is probably what the title Knights of Guinevere really mean. This show is probably about saving Guinevere or the blonde girl, and then the music jumps into more of a rock vibe where we leave Park Planet. It seems like we're in the future where we see old posters worn down in the park and graffitied on. We see devil horns drawn on Guinevere. I have a theory that in the future, everyone basically sees Guinevere, the princess of Park Planet, as some sort of monster. This might be the bite of 87 of the universe, or something. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. We see the next scene of a boat floating somewhere. There are different posts that have different labs labeled on them. I don't know if the labs are related to the machines that help Guinevere, but they just might be. Probably. Then we get a scene where we see the blonde girl again, where it seems like she's ripping the cyber organs out of Guinevere, with a look on her face like she despises her. Guinevere is in pain, and we get the shadow scene with the blonde girl, Guinevere, and this man in a suit who appears to be the Walt Disney or the William Afton of the series. The person who's really responsible for all of the chaos. In this scene, it looks like the blonde girl and the man both want to be in control of Guinevere. But I'm under the impression that the blonde girl trapped inside Guinevere just really hates the machine the man has put her in. Then we get a scene with two robot bodyguards. If you look at their face, they have a P icon and a cross star symbol, the same one from Park Planet. So basically Park Planet bodyguards, who's trying to detain a homeless man. We see a cardboard sign and a cup with some coins inside of it. It seems like they beat him up as well, like he saw something that he shouldn't have. We see an old man smoking on something that has a blue paint on it. This is probably the blue blood that the show has hinted at. The best way to describe it if you ever played the game Detroit Become Human, where androids live by having blue blood inside their system, kind of the same way how humans have blood. I imagine the blue blood is some type of energy thing that allows machines like Guinevere to exist. If you remember from the teaser trailer where Guinevere was just bleeding all over the place, that was blue blood just like being spread all over the place. Then we see Guinevere being dismantled and being pulled out of some old wreckage, which matches the narration where the Park Planet was a real place but just happened a very long time ago. So Guinevere must have been wasting away all these years because someone turned her off due to something that might have been like that bite of 87 of this universe. Next scene, we have one of the protagonists where she's just flipping off the Guinevere statue, probably due to the fact that the world hates her for something that she or the company did years ago. I imagine Park Planet is just this huge, vastly expansive place, and probably just end up using a lot of the world's resources and poison the planet, all for the sake of money. Then we get a scene where we see the blonde girl looking at the door at the same man that we seen earlier in the trailer appear. During this scene, we see the toys in the blonde girl's room that looks like animals. These are probably the same animals that we saw in the teaser, just memories of Guinevere's life when she was a blonde girl. Those toys gave her comfort while she was being experimented on, the same way the animals are comforting her in her dreams. These toys are probably also based upon the animatronics in the Park Planet theme park, where we see throughout the trailer. Then we see Guinevere falling into this pool, probably in some type of dream sequence. This show is described as a psychological thriller, so I imagine these dream sequences are going to mean a lot as well as the show continues. Then we see the Walt Disney guy that opens up almost exactly how Walt Disney would talk, telling the viewers to say hello to some of his friends. Then we see Guinevere on the moon, and then also as a mermaid. I believe these are all different creative versions of Guinevere. Like there is a dancing one, a mermaid one, then we see a little toy version of Guinevere, then there's one of her being a knight, and then there's one of Guinevere that I believe the show is based off of. I believe that this specific version of Guinevere went haywire and caused the bite of 87 on Park Planet. So the one that we're seeing is probably the original Guinevere. Then we get the final sequence where we see a lot happening at once, so I'm going to break it down one by one. First, we see Guinevere after she was found like we saw earlier in the trailer. It looks like she was stuffed in some type of storage room, like she's about to get sent out somewhere. In the same one, we see our two protagonists, the dude carrying out this one girl from crashing out. It's probably from the same scene we saw earlier with her flipping off the statue. My guess is that these two are mechanics trying to make it up in society, while whoever's in charge of Park Planet is giving them a hard time. These two are the same characters we saw from the first teaser working on Guinevere while she was bleeding everywhere trying to fix her. Like from the story the girl was narrating before, she's waiting for her knights to save her. These two are her knights, the brave people trying to save Guinevere or the poor girl trapped inside her. Next scene, we see Guinevere's body on top of a table bleeding out. It looks like she's turned off and half of her face is ripped open, like they are working on her face. Then we see an image of a man who appears that his eye is ripped out. Crazy enough, we see in this same scene and before, Guinevere's own eye is ripped out or damaged. And earlier in the statue, her eye was crossed out as well. I'm guessing whatever happened when Guinevere went haywire, someone lost an eye. And it was probably this guy. I'd imagine that it was the Walt Disney guy that we saw earlier because they had the same eye color. Maybe just a bit older. He could be the same guy that we saw in the docks, but I'm not sure because his outfit looks way too casual to fit a Walt Disney persona. Next photo, we see the blonde girl again, looking stone cold. Then we see Guinevere glitching out in pain, pleading for help. It seems like these scenes are all connected with Walt Disney and the blonde girl watching her glitch out. The other scenes also seem connected, where we see one of the other protagonists looking at Guinevere's old body trying to figure out what is going on, maybe being a technician. The last one we see is some type of dinosaur, probably one of Walt Disney's creations, just looking messed up. At the end, we see the blonde girl with the blue blood in her hands holding some type of plug. It seems like she ripped the plug out of Guinevere. I think these two are connected. They're probably either the same person or Walt Disney cloned the blonde girl's DNA using her blood to make some type of blue blood to help create Guinevere. I don't know, we'll have to see once either the creator says something or when we get our first episode. The trailer ends with a title card, but there is a blink and you'll miss it moment around the end, where it says wake up. Obviously hinting to Guinevere being trapped inside of her dreams throughout the show. Her needing to wake up. This makes more sense when looking back to the first teaser with her being Sleeping Beauty. Her not being able to wake up from her dream. The first episode is set to release September 9th, so we don't have much longer until we get the first episode. Well, this is all we have for the breakdown for the first trailer of Knights of Guinevere. This feels like it's going to be a fun show to watch. A lot of fun theories to go all around. I'm excited to see the show release. Let me know your theories in the comments below and tell me some things that you have noticed in the trailer. And until next time, Yakuza out!